This is the Brave New Coin Crypto Conversation, hosted by Andy Pickering.
Hi everyone, Andy Pickering here. I'm your host and welcome to the Crypto Conversation, a Brave New Coin podcast where we talk to the people building the future in the Bitcoin, blockchain and cryptocurrency space. My guest today is Lin Dai. Lin is the CEO and co-founder of OneOf, a green NFT platform for music NFTs, and it's built on Tezos with backing by Quincy Jones. Hey, this is exciting stuff. Welcome to the show, Lin.
Thank you for having me, Andy.
Look, it is a pleasure. Hey, to begin with, Lin, I think it would be useful if we could just get a little bit of background about you, because I understand, you've been working in tech for some time, and you're also quite well versed across, I guess, the music industry and the cultural scene in the US, and now you guys are kind of bringing this all together. So maybe just to begin with, just to introduce yourself and a little bit about your background.
Yeah, Andy. So I'm a tech nerd. So I graduated from Carnegie Mellon University. So while I was still at school, started one of the first social networks for teenagers. Ended up with millions of teens on our website. And this is during the first .com. We actually ended up taking the company public. This was about 4 years before MySpace and 5 years before Facebook. Certainly then learned a lot in the first .com boom and bust, and spending the next 10 years with major media companies such as Alloy that owned Gossip Girl, Vampire Diaries, and MS Communications that owned radio stations like Hot 97 in New York and Power 106 in LA. So it was largely kind of transforming traditional media company into more digital oriented companies. Really want to get back into the startup environment, so joined a startup in Toronto that was really interesting, was doing mobile video social network at a time when Instagram was just doing photos. So ended up growing that company to about 75 million users, and took that company public in Toronto. So came back to New York about 5 years ago, was introduced to the VC Bill Tai, who's kind of the first investor in Zoom and first investor in Dapper Labs and a lot of other great projects, and really became kind of a mentor to me. So we were looking at as early as 5 years ago how to use blockchain technology, how to apply that to kind of the music entertainment industry. And then fast forward to about 2 years ago, Bill came to me and was like, you had to take a look at these blockchain cats. Which he meant crypto kitties, of course. So we immediately started to kind of envision how NFT can apply to kind of the music entertainment industry, and start working on kind of what eventually became the OneOf platform.
Yeah, very, very interesting, Lin. So, as I understand it, OneOf, you guys raised $63 million in a seed round. And I guess then by the sound of it, you have been working on this for 1 or 2 years now, and you've got backing by Quincy Jones. Of course, Quincy is obviously just a legend, if not one of the legends in the global music industry. So, well, tell us a little bit about, I guess, the origin story of OneOf and how you began to pull all this together.
Yeah, it's actually a great story. So Adam Fell, who is one of my partners, he's the president of Quincy Jones Production. So I was introduced to Adam years ago by our third partner, Josh James, who's the connector of the group. So Josh is a successful tech entrepreneur on his own, sold one of his company to Warner Music Group, and so most recently sold his other startup to Media Rights Capital, who's the parent company for Billboard, Variety, and Hollywood Reporter. So Josh actually grew up in Seattle, next to the Joneses. So Quincy's brother, I think, was Josh's family's neighbor. So so the families know each other. And I think at one point Quincy told Adam that he had to meet Josh, who's a successful kind of tech and music media entrepreneur, and then they hit it off. And became really great friends and collaborators over the years. And I went to I was working on this NFT technology for almost 2 years. And when we kind of had all these breakthrough, and I really wanted to I think the technology is kind of ready for prime time. So I called Josh, and Josh immediately was like, we should talk to Adam about this. So this is how we got connected. It's kind of funny. Adam told this story when the first time Josh called him, I was like, Adam, do you know about NFTs? And Adam was like, what is an NFT? So certainly, after we kind of brought Adam up to speed, he immediately saw what a big application this could be for the music industry. So Adam, back in the days were kind of instrumental in kind of leading Quincy's investment into companies like Spotify, et cetera, really ahead of curve on kind of how streaming was going to change on the music industry. So he certainly, we're glad to that him and Quincy then decided to partner with us on this project, because this is another kind of very transformative technology for the music industry.
Very much so. And when most people think of NFTs at the moment, I mean, the kind of the first use case, if you like, of NFTs to get, shall we say, product market fit has very much been, kind of like art-based NFTs and memes and well, I guess it did start with crypto kitties and digital cats. But as I say, that's kind of how most people think of NFTs at the moment. But as I understand it, you guys are very much focused on music NFTs. So I guess, tell us what the vision is, Lin, in terms of, what is the kind of the unique music-based NFT use case that you guys are aiming at here?
Yeah, so what my thesis is that kind of NFT for music is very different than NFT for basketball trading cards and NFTs for art. So for one thing, kind of learning how to the gamification, the game of playing and trading a basketball card is in itself a little bit of a barrier to entry, right? Just because you consider yourself a basketball fan doesn't necessarily mean that you know how to kind of play this game of collecting and trading these basketball cards. And art has, digital art has this challenge of one, it's digital art usually priced really high. There is a high barrier to entry to start with by the price point, and also the price discovery is not that clear, right? So why is a painting of a bull carrying a Bitcoin made by people worth millions of dollars, while a similar painting by Lin Dai will be worth maybe $10, right? So it's not very clear to the average consumer. So music is different. So music is, I think, have the opportunity to both appeal to the high-end collector, but also appeal to the general public. Because number one, price discovery is so easy, right? So everybody have a basic understanding that, let's say, John Lennon's Imagine is worth more than Britney Spears' 6th track on her 4th album, right? So no offense to Britney. So price discovery is very easy for the average consumer to understand. And also owning digital music versus owning digital art. Well, owning digital music is kind of a behavior that 1 to 2 billion people already have experienced before, right? So as short as 5 years ago, people used to kind of buy and download music. So the kind of the understanding of like, okay, well, I purchased digital music before, and it's a very small leap to say like, okay, maybe I can purchase limited edition digital music, collectible digital music, right? So we think music holds the key to potentially to be the gateway to actually onboard tens of millions, if not 100 million new user onto blockchain, because it has this easily understandable traits and property. So our entire project, very different than most other NFT project, is aimed at the non-crypto native, right? So it's primarily built to onboard new users. And this may be, I think for 90% of our users, this will be their first blockchain experience.
Sure. Okay. Well, that's very interesting, Lin. So it sounds like, what you want to do is effectively lower the friction, right? And make that kind of user experience a little bit more friendly and engaging and, enticing to music fans all around the world. But I'd love it then if you could maybe give us some specific examples of what you mean. So if, you talked about, say, John Legend, let's use him as an example, or anyone else that you like. So what kind of NFT offering would it be? So would there be some like a digital piece of music, and then there'd be some kind of artwork that would come with it, and there would be maybe like a kind of higher end, more limited offering for the serious collectors or people that are crypto rich? How do you see that working?
Yeah, so in our first announcement, we announced about a dozen artists, from Whitney Houston to Doja Cat, to H.E.R, Quincy Jones, John Legend, TLC, Jacob Collier, who's our 5-time Grammy winner and this year's Album of the Year winner nominee. So Alesso and many more. So I think all of these artist drops are going to be very different. I would say the commonality would be, usually there's, it's a music platform. Usually there's music, and then there could be either, in addition to music, there could be art or experiences, or both. So what we think fundamentally people want to collect from music artists are either music or some kind of experience that give them access to the artist, right? So it could be, something like music. Example could be like, hey, like this artist, best album, right? So, or best hits, or first album in a limited edition, kind of 10-year anniversary or 20-year anniversary re-release with bonus tracks, right? Never before released content. And experiences could be like, hey, VIP tickets to every show on this artist tour for the next X number of years. So those are some kind of examples of how we're thinking about music and experiences that fans really want. What's really unique is we are actually pricing each collection with at least one of one, right? So those are kind of really exclusive, limited edition content that like the high-end collectors really want, right? So
give us a give us. Oh, sorry to interrupt, Lin, but I'm fascinated by what these one of ones could be for the likes of whether it's Quincy Jones, John Legend, TLC, or Whitney Houston. What does what can you tease out as to what some of these one of ones would consist of?
Yeah, I can give a little tease, but we're definitely we're planning on
of course
a separate announcement to specifically for each of these artists. But I mean, like Quincy has produced everyone from Michael Jackson to to actually like Frank Sinatra, right? Like people actually don't know he produced Frank Sinatra. So Quincy actually literally has a vault
Yes.
in his house, right? Inside the vault, there is another vault. There's a vault inside the vault with tapes of like super exclusive content and handwritten notes and just like the history of music type of content, right? So Quincy is super generous and certainly is allowing us to really go through he just turned 88 this year, just his entire career of content, and there are just so many pieces of content that just are actually never even heard before, right? So I think we're gonna do a whole series of Quincy curated content from just the biggest name in music history you can think of. But I think the one-on-one could be things that like from like huge name artists that never before, legendary artists never before released tracks or recorded tracks or content music, right? So to specific, I would say, like moments in music history that everybody is very familiar of, and that song that defined that moment as it was recorded then, right? So in a limited edition format. So there's a lot, or it could be like today's hottest album or hottest track, right? That you can hear, but this is a limited edition version of that with bonus material that actually didn't make it to kind of the Spotify version. So there's quite a bit of all of that, right? So there's each collection is always going to have at least one of ones, right? So and then we basically took a page out of the music industry moniker of back in the days when they actually certify, and then they still do certify kind of each record, like kind of it turned it went gold or platinum or even diamond. So we have a diamond tier. Usually there's kind of 5 to 10 items that the high-end collectors can also bid on, and then there's a platinum tier. Platinum tier could be hundreds to thousands of items, right? So and then what's really unique is we have a gold tier. Each collection will have a gold tier, and that could be thousands to tens of thousands of items. It could be, it could be the same, it could be 10 items of 1,000 copies each, or could be a lot more different items. So what we really are trying to aim for is we want to make the collection plentiful and accessible to the average music fans, right? So basically, items could be priced, NFTs could be priced as little as $5, which is not possible on most other platforms because the Ethereum minting fees are about anywhere between $75 to $150 just to create an NFT. So this is not even possible, right? Imagine an artist minting an NFT and it costs the artist $150. So the artist will have to sell the NFT for $300, $400, $500 as a minimum. That really prices it out of the reach of the real true fans, right? That 14-year-old girl that's really your fan cannot afford to pay $300 for an NFT. So and most artists understand this, right? Most kind of tier 1 artists really don't want to use NFT technology as something that really only sells to their wealthiest fans. So they want to be inclusive, and we are one of the only platforms that can do that.
That's right, Lin, and I suppose that's a nice segue into talking about the fact that OneOf is built on the Tezos blockchain, right? And as you've identified, one of the I guess the issues with the Ethereum ecosystem, whether it's Ethereum NFTs or DeFi, is you're right. The kind of the everyday people can be priced out of a lot of transactions simply because of really high Ethereum gas fees. So, and of course, there's aside from that, there's one of the kind of the mainstream media narratives, if you like, that has been critical of the rise of NFTs is, this idea that, NFTs are boiling the oceans, or the same way, people say Bitcoin mining is boiling the oceans, and rightly or wrongly, that is just quite a difficult narrative to push back against. So look, well, you can speak more to this. So how long ago back did you guys kind of identify this as an issue, and why was Tezos the ecosystem that you elected to launch on?
Yeah, I think almost from the very beginning, we had our reservations about Ethereum. I mean, Ethereum is a great blockchain. I want to state that on the records, right? So I think Ethereum technology is wonderful, and it actually there's almost nobody came close to Ethereum when it comes to DeFi, right? So but like, because how successful it's been for DeFi, kind of the unintentional like side effects or consequences is it drove gas fee extremely high, right? For every transaction. So from very beginning, we kind of noticed that, when CryptoKitty first came out, it was consuming up to it was about 90% at one point of all transactions on Ethereum was CryptoKitties, right? So we have a lot of concern about scalability, kind of from day one. And as DeFi proliferated over the last couple of years, and they're really starting to drive up gas fees, and we ran the model, and it was just like not feasible, right? So I think Dapper Labs also came to the same conclusion and decided to build their own blockchain, which is like a very big effort to solve this gas problem. So we basically look at a couple of things, and we're like, well, we want the NFT to be affordable to the average fans, which means we need to go on a low transaction fee blockchain. And the second thing is every music artist, right, is super environmentally conscious and friendly. And me and Bill are, Bill is an environmental activist. I'm part of his organization, H.E.R, which is for athletes, conservationists, technologists, artists and creators to get together in kind of use our power to do something good for the community and the environment. So we, it's not that whether or not kind of how bad Ethereum is damaging the environment. The current proof of work version of Ethereum is damaging the environment. There's like no argument about that, whether NFT specific is or not. Like just the power consumption for proof of work is unnecessary, and that's been proven for years now, right? So proof of stake is just a more efficient, low energy way of providing consensus for blockchain. Like pretty much majority of everybody in blockchain industry can agree to that. Even Vitalik himself agreed to that, right? Ethereum is trying to go to proof of stake. So there's no argument the proof of stake is more efficient. Now, I think a lot of the other platform choose to kind of wait to, build on the current platform and current Ethereum network and wait for Ethereum to eventually migrate to proof of stake. And we basically took a look and we said, hey, like proof of stake is here already, right? Successfully running on chains such as Tezos, who's been running a successful proof of stake network for 3 years, the mainnet, right? So so that's very attractive to us, that we can go on a stable, tested mainnet to launch our application, right? So who knows how difficult the Ethereum switch over to proof of stake is going to be, and when is that going to be? But like, we are kind of artists first, and our ethos really is, this technology is available today. Like, proof of stake building that is available today. So if that is a choice, we're not going to build our platform on a network that uses 2 full days of household electricity just for one transaction. There's no reason for that.
Yeah, and look, I think it's just a powerful, whether you call it a marketing message or a genuine care for the environment. It doesn't really matter at this point, but it is a really powerful edge to have in that kind of green NFT story that you can tell. But well, let's bring it back to, I guess, the platform itself and the rollout. So I'd love to hear some thoughts, Lin, on what the launch schedule looks like. What happens next? When do you go live? What are the early drops? And is it limited to the kind of the music artists that you're working with, that we've sort of talked about, or is the idea that you'll open this platform up to other artists? How can what's the plan? What's the vision?
Yeah, so we're working with a lot of artists right now. So we're planning 212 drops in the first 12 months of the platform. The first drops are going to start to happen in kind of mid-June timing. And we'll add more and more drops as we go, and announce more and more artists as well. So the problem we try to solve kind of on the consumer side is how to make it easier for kind of the next 100 million non-crypto native user to adopt blockchain technology. But also on the artist side, there's also a barrier of entry technology wise, right? If you just tell a music artist, oh yeah, sure, just go set up your MetaMask wallet and connect it to OpenSea, and you can start minting your own NFT. Most artists actually, it's very difficult for the artist to really self-serve and get themselves up to speed on how to do it, right? So we are basically going through in the first phase of the company, of the platform. We're really doing it kind of as a white glove service for pretty much all of our artists. And then at a certain point, we are going to release kind of a self-serve platform. It'll be a market place where kind of verified artists can start dropping their own content as well. So that is a very big part of our roadmap, and we're working towards that. But it's so we are also doing a lot of kind of hand holding and white glove service meanwhile.
Yeah, well, that makes sense, and I think that would be necessary for I guess people like Quincy Jones and John Legend, who probably don't really have the time or inclination to go too far down the NFT or crypto rabbit holes themselves just right now. So the white glove service will certainly be of use to them. Well, as we kind of start to look forward, then, Lin, like, feel free to kind of speculate a bit, but how do you see the kind of this NFT space evolving? Like, so, I mean, you talked about providing experiences, right? And so that could be anything from, getting a VIP ticket to like a live music event. But I'm sure, an experience could also be some kind of, exclusive I don't know, like virtual concert, limited to the people that hold NFT tickets. And then as the technology evolves, I'm sure, things could get even more exciting and exotic again. So yeah, like feel free to speculate, but what do you see happening sort of in the 5 to 10 years ahead as everything begins to mature?
Yeah, NFT can represent any type of digital ownership, authenticated digital ownership, right? So as music and experiences all kind of gravitate towards more digital based, NFT can be a lot more than kind of just that, represent just that music track that so or that piece of art or album art or whatever. So what we envision kind of the NFT part is NFT is a relationship between artists and their fans, right? So NFT actually, how we are envisioning our platform and what NFT can do, it's basically, it literally unlocks and decrypts a vault, and the content can be kind of the NFT content could be a song to start, could be a music video to start, but the vault could actually grow over time with additional content or a QR code that allow you to access this artist concert or a limited invite to a link to go to see the artist's virtual performance. So it could be right. So all the artists we're talking to were basically kind of planting in their head, this is not just a one-off thing. This is a way for you to build ongoing relationship with your biggest fans, right? So these are fans that actually, instead of just streaming the music for a flat rate on Spotify, they are actually paying a premium for, whether it's $5 or $25 or $25 million. They're paying a premium because they really are your biggest fans. So we are basically envisioning NFT as kind of a gateway or truly a key to unlock relationships and content between artists and fans on an ongoing basis, not just the first drop. And more broadly, I think blockchain technology in the next 5 years will significantly reshape the music industry in a very positive way, right? So this is what we really need is basically adoption from both artists and users, and we're making it easier on both ends for kind of these key stakeholders to participate in the NFT economy or the blockchain ecosystem in general.
Fantastic stuff. Very exciting indeed. It's going to be a fun and wild ride to watch this intersection between the music industry and blockchain play out in the years ahead. Well, look, let's finish this off, Lin. So just give us some your final pitch on OneOf and tell the people where they can go to find you on your various platforms and where they should go to keep an eye on OneOf as you guys gear up to I guess go live later this month.
Yeah, so OneOf is a green NFT platform built on Tezos blockchain, built specifically for music fans. So you'll be able to find your favorite artists' content as NFTs, access to your artist experiences as NFTs on our platform. So if you go to oneof.com, you can basically sign up for our waiting list to be the first to access our drops, which are coming in mid-June.
Awesome. Can't wait. And we'll put a link to that in the show notes. But yeah, hey, very exciting stuff. Well, thank you very much for joining us today, Lin. All the best, and we'll be watching with interest.
Yeah, thank you, Andy, for having me.
All right. Thanks for listening, team. This was the Crypto Conversation for Brave New Coin.